Coming up, the latest news and information for the students of Bates Technical College, a technical report on digital audio, an introduction to the Bates Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force, a look back at the Bates graduation drive-through celebration, and banter with Brutus. Stay tuned. College Vision News is next. Hello, and welcome to this edition of College Vision News. I'm Roland Robinson. Here's the latest news and information for students at Bates Technical College. The Associated Student Government is looking for leaders. ASG collaborates with the college and community in order to provide a supportive environment for our diverse student population. Positions pay $14 per hour. To see the duties of each position and to apply, go to the Bates website and search for ASG. In the Bates Virtual Vet Lounge, the Washington Department of Veterans Affairs will be answering questions about resources, military benefits, school benefits, or any other veteran information. The Virtual Vet Lounge Zoom session is open from 2 to 3 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays to all veterans, spouses, dependents, or anyone who might have questions. To get the link for the Zoom meeting, send an email request to v-dwatson@batestech.edu. Here are some other important resources for Bates students. Employers are looking to hire Bates Technical College graduates. To see jobs that are available, go to the Student Job Board accessed through the Campus Life and Activities page on the Bates website. Be sure to click on the View More Jobs Opportunities link at the bottom of the page to see the full list of available jobs. Are you a student in need of some extra money? Work-study positions provide flexibility around your class schedule while allowing you to gain additional experience and skills. Students are eligible to work up to 15 hours per week at $14 per hour. For details of the work-study program, search for Work-Study on the Bates website. Bates Technical College is ready to support students in achieving their dreams and educational goals. Bates understands that many students are experiencing financial hardships that make it difficult to stay in college. The Financial Aid Office is currently accepting applications for the CARES Act grant, an emergency grant available to currently enrolled students. All students, including high school and undocumented students, may apply once per quarter and may receive up to $5,000 per quarter. For more information and to complete an application, visit the CARES Act webpage by searching for CARES Act on the Bates website. Watermark is offering two $5,000 Women in STEM scholarships for the fall 2021 academic term to provide much-needed support for college students pursuing science, technology, engineering, or mathematics-related studies and careers. The deadline to submit entries is July 15, 2021, and awardees will be notified in August. For official rules and to apply, browse for Watermark scholarships on the internet. That's your student news for this week. In the Broadcasting Video Production Program's Emerging Technology class, students have been reporting on different types of technology. This can be something new and cutting edge in the world of broadcasting and video production, or even something that is new to that particular student. In today's technology report, Duke Poonkasem discusses the development and application of digital audio.
Digital audio was created in 1937 and has since evolved into the numerous physical and intangible forms of media we possess. The conversion from analog to digital audio has revolutionized commercial audio quality and mass audio file sharing. The digitization of audio eliminated all of analog's distortions and noise-related problems, along with the degradation that comes with reproducing analog audio. Though modern digital audio has vastly improved our technological experiences, it would be nothing without its predecessors. We shall explore the major milestones on the path to improved audio quality and recording. The genius idea of digital audio was birthed from the mind of Alec Reeves in 1937. Reeves was an engineer that spent his entire career working within telecommunications. In the early to mid-1900s, the audio quality of a telephone call began to worsen. Each signal that ran down a wire would naturally pick up distortions, and as the signal would go further, the quality of the audio continued to degrade. Working on the first transatlantic telephone system for the International Western Electric Company, Reeves would be familiar with these issues. In the late 1920s to 1930s, Reeves would transfer to his company's research department in Paris that was working on similar problems for long-distance radio and microphone transmissions. Finally, in 1937, Reeves would create the method used for digital audio transmission, pulse code modulation, or PCM. PCM converted analog speech into electrical pulses, which then could travel vast distances without distortion. It was also possible to send multiple signals down the same route using PCM. This is a method we use today for all of our digital communication needs. It was a revolutionary idea, but Reeves did not have the technology to implement it yet. It was not until 1943 that Bell Labs in the US had taken PCM and created an encrypted transmission system called Sig-Sally. It was used to communicate with the UK in World War II so that the enemy could not intercept conversations. Sig-Sally was the first use of PCM to transmit digital audio. Going into the 1960s, PCM would continue to be integrated into new inventions. The engineers of Japan's broadcast network, NHK, developed a monophonic PCM audio recorder in 1967. By 1969, they had a working two-channel stereo recorder that was capable of 32 kHz sampling rate and 13-bit resolution, extremely close to modern-day standards of audio recording. This caught the eye of the Japanese hi-fi manufacturer Denon. They were trying to move out of the world of analog audio recording to improve sound quality, so they built their own PCM recording machine and released the first digitally recorded jazz LP in 1971 by Steve Marcus and Jay Inagaki, called Something. The following year, the BBC would deploy their solution for improvement to television broadcast audio. What they developed was a 13-channel PCM system with an audio converted to digital at broadcast center and converted back to analog at the transmitters. Back in America, a University of Utah professor, Dr. Thomas Stockham, was developing a digital audio recording and editing system, first using computer tape drives and later using a Honeywell linear instrumentation recorder. This system allowed for visual editing of musical waveforms and was the precursor to digital audio workstations. By 1967, Stockham had a digital recording company, SoundStream, and recorder capable of 16-bit resolution with a sampling rate of 37.5 kHz. This recorder had an analog to digital metering controls and digital to analog circuitry. This unit fed digital output to and received digital input from the Honeywell instrumentation recorder. The prototype SoundStream 37.5 kHz 16-bit two-channel recorder was used to record the Santa Fe Opera performing Virgil Thompson's opera, The Mother of Us All, for New World Records, making it the first U.S. digital recording. In 1978, the 3M company in Minneapolis, Minnesota would release their own type of digital audio recorder. It was a multi-track system that aimed at the world of professional multi-track recording with the help of BBC and their PCM technology. 3M created the digital audio mastering system, which consisted of a 32-track deck running 1-inch tape and a 4-track, 1.5-inch mastering recorder. Digital audio was now being recorded onto 1-inch videotape, but digital signal processing was still a work in progress. This meant that audio was still being mixed through analog mixers. Computer technology of the 1970s meant that you needed a mini computer, disk drive, video display, and the software to use a DAW. All of these items combined were roughly the size of a 2-deck washer and dryer. Other companies would continue to perfect their own multi-tracking systems through the 70s, but the advent of the compact disc was on its way. Philips and Sony launched the digital compact disc in 1982. Technology was finally starting to advance further into the digital age. A CD has a flat reflective area that represents a binary 1, while a non-reflective bump represents a binary 0. The CD drive shines a laser at the surface of the CD and can detect the reflective areas and the bumps by the amount of laser light they reflect. The drive converts the reflections into ones and zeros to read digital data from the disc. This meant that analog audio could be put onto a CD by repeatedly measuring the amplitude of an incoming electronic pressure sound wave and outputting these measurements as a long list of binary bytes. The more binary bytes, the greater the sound quality. The CD format reigned supreme until the website Napster arrived in 1999. With Napster, users were able to take the MP3 data of a CD and store it on their computers to distribute to their friends or the internet community. Only 4 months after the website started, the Recording Industry Association of America filed a lawsuit against Napster. While these lawsuits attempted to shut down the website on grounds of breaching copyright laws, extensive media coverage resulted in even more users signing up to the website. By the time Napster was forced to shut down in 2001, up to 21.4 million users were active on the service. This would only be the start for music streaming services. After the demise of Napster, it was evident that online music sharing was a direction worth exploring. In 2003, Apple launched the iTunes Store, an online music library to be used in conjunction with the first-generation iPod. People found it much safer to download music from iTunes instead of exposing your computer to malicious malware. The most notable names to join the music streaming scene next were Pandora in 2005 and Spotify in 2008. From analog to digital audio, the transformation has impacted the entire world. Who would have ever thought that digital audio would evolve into the advanced recording and distribution systems we have today?
Thanks, Duke, for your presentation. In 2020, the Bates Technical College Board of Trustees and the college president, Lynn Zhou, announced the formation of a task force to explore issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Since its formation, the task force has been meeting regularly and working on DEI issues. Since the task force is relatively new, many people on the Bates campus may not be aware of its existence, its makeup, or its purpose. To become more familiar with the DEI task force, go to the DEI webpage on the college's website. You'll see an introduction to the task force and its newly adopted purpose statement. Quote, "The purpose of the task force is to develop and promote best practices that create a more inclusive and equitable college community. The work of the task force will help the community educate, promote, and support diversity in its broadest sense, including with respect to race and ethnicity, gender and gender identity, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, language, culture, national origin, religious, age, disability status, and political perspective," unquote. The members of the task force are also listed on the webpage. Dean Ellens and Marcus Harvey are co-chairing the task force and guiding the work being done. One of the important features of the webpage is the DEI suggestion and feedback form available to everyone. The task force would like to hear back from the college and community on diversity, equity, and inclusion. If you have comments or suggestions, you can send them directly to the task force through this tool. We'll be learning more about the DEI task force and other college committees and groups in future episodes of College Vision News. Coming up, we'll take a look back at the Bates graduation drive-through celebration, and we'll banter with Brutus. Stay tuned. 2021 graduating class of Bates Technical College may have faced the most unique challenge of any class in the college's history, COVID-19. COVID moved students out of the classroom and labs into the world of online learning. The transition took its toll on students, but it also opened up new opportunities. In June of 2021, 245 students overcame the obstacles and completed their courses at Bates. Many of them celebrated their achievement by participating in a drive-through graduation ceremony at the Bates South campus. Here's a brief look at that celebration.
I have changed tremendously in the course of this last year. I felt so proud of myself even with the pandemic going on. I succeeded and I made it through and I overcame. I had the best grades I've ever had in my life and I enjoyed what I was doing, so I'm just so proud to get out there. After graduation, I'm gonna get an actual job for dental assisting and wow, start a career. That's amazing for me to say. That's one thing that I wanted and I'm so proud of, is I'm going to come out of this with a career, and that's where I'm headed. I'm pursuing my dreams and I made it.
Each of you have different stories. Maybe you balanced kids and a job with classes. Maybe you came from an area high school. Maybe you're looking to start a new career. But after today, you will become part of the Bates story. And I want to congratulate you and your families who supported you along the way. Whatever you do next, you will be called upon to take what you learned here at Bates and put it into action. My hope is that Bates gave you an opportunity to pursue something that lights your fire. Because we spend a heck of a lot of time at work, and it's a lot more satisfying when work doesn't feel so much like work, when it's something you care about passionately.
Remember that commencement is not the end. It represents a new beginning. Continue to learn, grow, and transform yourself and your future. Take the knowledge you have gained so you can reach new heights and goals. Remember your experience at Bates Technical College, and remember the college as you reach new levels of success. We believe in you and know that today is just the start of a new and significant journey.
Congratulations to all graduating students. We wish you the very best. Brutus is the mascot at Bates Technical College. A friendly and curious bobcat, Brutus has taken to interviewing various people at the college to find out who they are and what they do. I don't know about you, but I've never heard a bobcat speak. Let's see how this plays out in today's Banter with Brutus segment, as Brutus interviews an instructor from the broadcast video production program, Ken Whitko.
Welcome everyone, I'm Brutus the Bobcat, your official Bates mascot, and this is my interpreter, Seth. Say hi, Seth. Hi, Seth. Today we have a very special guest, Ken Whitco from the Bates Video Production Program. So I understand you graduated from Bates as a student, correct?
I did.
What first attracted you to the BVP program?
Oh, great question. I actually, as a young man, was always interested in producing and making and creating films. And I said, how could I get involved in that particular field? So I called all of the local television stations. I didn't know who else to call. I called all of the local television stations and I said, I want to get into that industry. What do I do? And without exception, they said, you must go to Bates Technical College and go to the Broadcast Video Production Program. I signed up a couple of weeks later, and it's been over 30 some years ago I graduated.
As both a teacher and a former student from Bates Technical College, what do you think is the best way to succeed in this program?
Oh, another great question, Brutus. You are the best.
He's flattered.
You heard that without, that's good. You guys have the whole mind meld thing going on. I like it a lot. Yeah, and I will tell you this. The best way to succeed is to always work hard, man. Always work hard. Don't take things personal in production, but you got to work hard. You got to stay focused because the industry is really great. There's a lot of fun in doing it, but you have to work hard. You have to want it. You got to stay focused and keep your nose to the grindstone. And one of the things that I always teach all my students is always have a great attitude because there's a lot of people in industry that really are talented, but their attitude is not good, So I would much rather work around people that have great attitudes and are not really very skillful than work around people that are really skillful, but they have stinky attitudes and they're just pouting all the time, So work hard, have a great attitude, and good things happen.
What kind of work is someone likely to go into after they graduate from here?
So in our industry, it's really wide open. So we have students that have gotten hired working for roofing companies and helping with their social media accounts, producing and creating content. But you're going to get anywhere from sports, with Seahawks. We just heard yesterday some of our students are working the Seahawk games right now. But they're going to be working in television. Some of our students are working up in Alaska doing engineering, some are doing content creation for television stations elsewhere, and others are working for Microsoft Studios or working for the Mariners or working for Victory Studios, other things like that. So, but it's not an easy program. It takes a lot of effort because not only are you learning content creation and production and running cameras and directing and producing, but also you're required to learn some technical stuff. The industry is changing so much that you are not just going to be a camera operator. You got to be able to figure out technical things. You can't just be a producer. You've got to be able to do some engineering stuff. So we're kind of putting that all together and making a student, when they graduate and they've completed all the courses, then they have a much broader skill set. Yes, it is difficult, but for the right people, for those that work hard, their skill sets come out. They're going to be very, very popular in the industry.
That's all we have for today. We appreciate you coming out here. Brutus has definitely learned a lot from this program, and he's excited to come and register and check it out for himself.
Yes, we always wanted Brutus in our program. We're awesome.
Thank you to everyone for watching at home. Remember, if you have any questions about the programs, instructors, or students, please feel free to email asgestwo@batestech.edu. That is asgectwo@batestech.edu. Thank you everyone for watching. This is Brutus signing off. Good night, everyone.
So now we know how a bobcat speaks. Thanks to Seth Prindle for helping out. I'm looking forward to what Brutus has in store for his next interview. In today's show, we reported on student news, heard from Duke about digital audio, and learned about the DEI task force. We also had a look back at the recent graduation celebration and listen in on Banter with Brutus. Be sure to catch our next episode of College Vision News. On behalf of the BVP studio crew, thanks for watching.